Growing up, I always wondered and asked myself these three questions. Who am I? Where am I? And why am I here? Whenever I find myself in situations that just frustrated me or required me to think outside of the box, those three questions often come up where I'm able to dissect and figure out what's going on. It's one of those questions that I tend to find that I need to get the answer to. Today I'm going to talk to you about who am I? Who are you? We are flesh, we are spirit, and we are the breath of God. Flesh, because dust we were formed from, and dust we shall return to. Spirit, because there is a spirit that dwells within us to connect us to God. That is why we have this body, which is known as the temple, where God's spirit dwells. And then you have the very breath of life, where the minute we are formed in our mother's womb and we get that first heartbeat, which is where the breath of God comes from. A lot of times I've got family members or friends who say that, you know what, my loved one has come to me, or I dreamt of my loved ones. It's natural to dream about people that have passed, but is it really your loved ones that you're seeing? Or they'll say, I had like an awakening, almost vivid, where they feel that their loved ones were there to support or be with them. Again, I've done my research, and researching is not where I'm looking through books. I'm going to the source, which is the one book that was left for all of us to follow, and that is the Holy Scriptures, the Bible. And we often wonder where we go, what happens to us after we pass away from this earth. In order to figure that out, you've got to remember who you are. When we die, the very breath that God gives us to breathe, the scriptures, in accordance with Solomon, it says that it goes back to God, He who gave it to us in the first place. This flesh, it says, for dust we are, and dust we shall return to. The book of Genesis teaches us that. And the very spirit that is within us goes to Sheol, or Hades. Now, a lot of times people may think that Hades is some sort of a hell on earth, or hell. What it is the underworld, and it's completely separate from the world that we are now. What happens is our spirit goes and it waits there for the day of judgment. This is not something that I'm making up. It's what the Bible says or tells us that will happen. Now, in Hades, there are two sides to it. If you've done good through your life, then your soul will dwell on the side of good. If you're an evil person while you were on this earth, then you're going to go to the side that, unfortunately, you're going to be in pain and suffering. But either way, whichever side you end up on, you have to wait until Judgment Day so that you can be judged. Doesn't mean that you go to hell right away. No, you have to be judged. And once you're judged, the decision as to where you go is then decided. So what we are here for while we're on this earth, we are here to be tested every single day. Every single thought, every single action carries a reaction, whether it has a consequence, good or bad. We've got to learn to live with whatever comes with the decisions that we make. So it's imperative that you tune in to who you truly are and who you want to be, knowing that in the end, where you end up is where you intend to be. You can't figure that you're going to be evil and do people wrong all of your life while you're here on earth and expect to be in an area that you're not going to face consequences. I really pray for those who prey on the weak, who prey on people that are not strong enough to stand up for themselves, or people who are not strong enough to fight for themselves. But I also commend the people who are doing good, who are working in accordance with God's commandments, who are getting up every day and doing all that they can to make this world a better place. I remember the story of the rich man and the beggar, homeless, Lazarus, who was covered with sores and literally sat by the rich man's door with the only hopes of eating the scraps that comes off the table. When the rich man died, so did Lazarus. And in accordance with the Bible, it says that Lazarus was taken up by angels and brought to the bosom, the side of Father Abraham. Whereas the rich man was taken to the other side of Hades, and he was crying because he was in a lot of pain and torment and torture. And he said, Father Abraham, if you could only allow Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger into the bowl of water to quench my thirst. I am here today to remind you of this message. This is not something that's new. The message has always been here, but I am being asked to deliver it yet again, in my words, that is, in hopes that it may change the lives of someone who is looking at this video today. I pray and hope that if you are on the wrong path, that this video will help you to see and know just who you are. We are creation of the Father in heaven. And when you do good and when you continue to abide and to live in accordance with God's commandments, you become children of God. Continue to do His will and continue to pray and continue to hope. Live each day with the hope that when our time comes, that we will be on the side of right. But we're all going to end up in Hades, whether it's on the good side or the bad side. I hope that this message meets and greets the ones that need it the most. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.